Okay, we are going to record this video real quick. It should be one of the shorter videos, but we're going to cover the new concept, which is multiplying numbers in scientific notation. There should be three steps here. One, you need to use your multiplication of exponents properties. Remember, the main property that we're going to use is something along the lines of this. If you have x to the fifth times x to the second, because the bases are the same, okay, sorry about that. But if you have x to the fifth times x to the second, if the bases are the same, remember the bases are both x and its multiplication, then we add the exponents, so you get 5 plus 2. So we end up getting x to the 7th. We are going to use this property a lot today, so make sure you remember that. That'll allow us to combine the exponents with the same base, and then we're going to multiply the outside numbers. So remember, today we're going to be given two numbers that are in scientific notation that are being multiplied together. We're going to use these steps to be able to solve it. So let's look at an example. Instead of moving the decimal over 4 spots and converting these both to standard form, then multiplying them together, and then putting it back in scientific notation, we're going to use our properties as kind of a shortcut. We're going to see this as 3.2 times 5.4. So the first thing I want you to do is pull your numbers out, and then you're going to have all of that times your exponents. So if you notice, I regrouped. I put the exponents together and the whole numbers together. Okay? Then we're going to take 3.2 times 5.4. You can go ahead and use a calculator for that. But when we type that in, we are going to get 17.28. Bring our multiplication sign straight down. And then you're left with this. Notice the bases are the same. The exponent, or it's through multiplication, so we can add the exponents. 4 plus 3 gives us 7. So we get 17.28 times 10 to the 7th power. Now, our answer needs to be in scientific notation. So if you look, it's not quite there. In order to be in scientific notation, the decimal would actually have to be right here. And so really, we need to take the decimal and move it one more spot to the right. Okay, by moving this one to the right, that means we're going to actually have to add 1 to this exponent because we've moved it one additional space over. So that gives us 1.728 times 10. And when we add this one more to it, we're going to get actually to the 8th power. So make sure that your answer is actually in scientific notation. Oftentimes, you're really close to being in scientific notation, and you have to maybe shift it over once, maybe twice. If you have to shift it left or right, keep in mind you might have to add to your exponent or maybe even take away from your exponent. Let's look at another example. Again, we're going to group our numbers out in front together. We're going to get 7.8 times 1.1 times. Then we're going to group together our exponents. We're going to get 10 to the 8th times 10 to the 10th. Now when we take these and multiply them together, 7.8 times 1.1 gives us 8.58. We bring our x down, and then because the bases are the same and it's through multiplication, we can add the exponents. 8 plus 10 gives us 18. So unlike this one, where our answer was close to being in scientific notation, this one, we're actually already there. We don't have to do anything to it. It's already one digit in the decimal. Okay, and let's look at our last example. This time we're dealing with decimals. We're dealing with negative exponents. So we're going to again group our numbers together. We're going to have 4.2 times 1.3. All of that is going to be times 10 to the negative 4th and 10 to the negative 2nd. Okay. We're going to add our exponents together to get 10 to the negative 6th, bring our x down, and then when we multiply these, 4.2 times 1.3 gives us 5.4. 0.46, and again, I'm using my calculator for that. If you notice, it's already in scientific notation again. Again, we have one digit, then the decimal, then the remaining digits. So we can use our powers of 10, or excuse me, our multiplication exponent of exponents rules to be able to really simplify this and make this a quick process. I hope that helps. See you tomorrow.